As you're watching Greatness Quest, I'm Trevor Crane, and today I'm bringing you another extraordinary guy. This is Dave Van Hoos. Say hey, Dave.
Hey, my friend. How are you, Trevor?
Man, I'm awesome, and I can't wait to talk to everybody today about how they can make some serious cheddar, how they can sell one to many. What did your buddy, your business partner, was saying? It's serious coin. This isn't selling one-to-one. You're talking to the man, the celebrity speaker coach, Dave Van Hoos.
Well, thank you very much, Trevor. Well, I'm excited and honored to be here with everybody. And we're going to have a lot of it. And I promise everybody that you're going to learn some very valuable strategies and tools to 10x your business. I promise everybody that.
Well, not only that, but I know, brother, they're not just going to get stuff on today's episode, but they're going to get, you've got 3 blueprints that you're giving away. So if you guys go to greatnessquest.com/10x, because this is the man, he's going to give those blueprints away. So pay attention, because he's going to share the strategies and secrets that he's used, not for his business, but all those books behind me. Talk to me. Why are you have all those books behind you right now?
Well, one of the things that I do when I coach a lot of the top speakers in the world is I always ask them a question. What has to occur in your life when you know you made it big, right? And for me, a quick story is I do a lot of speaking and traveling around the world. And I was in an airport, and I love to read books. I love to read personal empowerment books, sales books, anything I get my hands on. And at the bookstore, they had a table of 20 books, best-selling books. And I looked in that moment, and out of the 20 books, 10 of them were my clients and friends. And that's when it occurred to me, I hit it big. So behind me isn't my library. These are my personal students, my clients. And that's one of the things that I do at my company is Speaking Empire, is we work with a lot of the top internet marketers, speakers, authors, and we show them how to launch their brand to the world.
Man, I was so excited to hear you tell that story, so thank you for doing it again. And by the way, the information that he's going to share, again, you're giving away 3 blueprints. If you go to Speaking Empire, that's your website, right? SpeakingEmpire.com/10x. You're going to get the blueprints, and we're going to talk about it now. But I just want to make sure they know that they can get that, because this is gold. And actually, can you tell me what are the pieces that, how can they use the information we're going to talk about today? Like what ways?
Well, if you're a business owner, and most people don't know this, but a huge statistic that most people don't know is that 8 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 18 months. That's right. And out of the ones that succeed in 5 years, only 4% of businesses are still successful after 4 years. So in fact, imagine this, pictures, you're better off taking all of your money, all of your family's money and your kids' money and going to Vegas and putting everything on black. That is a better statistics. So I investigated why do most businesses fail, if not almost all businesses fails, and the number one reason why. And that's what we're going to talk about. So most people think, why do most businesses fail? Well, they say, I don't have the capital, I don't have the team, I don't have the strategy. But the number one reason why most businesses fail is because of a dysfunctional sales process. They can't get a customer. And so we need to dive down deep to help people so they're not another statistic.
Well, and we talked about the difference between selling one-on-one. And that's, I mean, I've got great strength there. Grant Cardone talks about that all the time. Like, how do you close that deal, overcome objections? But I know the books behind you and all of your clients are not coming to you for the one-on-one sale. So, you know, what's that gap then? Because if the biggest challenge is closing that deal or making the sale, how do you do it differently, and what do you teach?
Well, that's a good question. So long story short, I'll tell a little bit about my experience. And I want to share a lot of my failures, because what I've discovered is that what really successful people do is they learn from their mistakes. What really successful people do is they learn from other people's mistakes. So I want to share my biggest failures. In fact, I grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I got my degree in sports medicine. So my background is a professional football trainer and coach for Arena football team. We won a national championship. So I was on top of the world. And then unfortunately, sometimes life happens and things happen. I had a serious injury where I had to get a back surgery. I had to get a fusion in my spine. And catastrophically, I thought my life was over with. And So I'm recovering from the surgery. Like, what am I going to do next, right?
Were you wearing a halo type of thing to keep your neck straight?
No, I actually had a full body brace because it was the lower spine. I had a full cage and everything. It was horrible. And I went down to the courthouse and I saw a foreclosure auction, saw him bidding off houses at the courthouse steps. And I had this idea. What if I took these foreclosure listings and put it onto a website and call it foreclosuresdaily.com? So I started my business on my credit card, and it was going to help people save time, energy, and money. And Trevor, I launched this business my first month. Guess how many customers I got?
100,000. They just came running.
0. I was like, I thought if you had a good idea, customers would show up. So then I figured out, how do you get a customer? And so my next strategy was the 6-foot rule. Have you ever heard of the 6-foot rule?
Go ahead and tell me. Well, I'm not sure that I have.
Anybody within 6 feet from me, I tried to sell them. So then I found out, just like Grant teaches, is that selling is a system. And I used a system called question-based selling, or the Socrates ways to sell. Became very good at it. However, but I was spending majority of my time in my business is the sales department, selling one-to-one, sitting down with one person. And then it occurred to me, why am I selling one-to-one? Why don't I sell one-to-many?
Right.
And that's when it hit.
Okay, so you have mastered the strategy, the system of selling one-to-many, and that example of the clients behind you there, the ones you've trained. So here's what we need to do, Dave. We got to take a quick break. We're going to be back. You're going to learn and share how we can go ahead and anybody can sell one-to-many when you get back. In just a second. Hey guys, you're back watching Greatness Quest. I'm Trevor Crane here with Dave Van Hoos, who's about to share with us, hey, talk about this. What are some super ninja strategies that somebody watching right now can use, and what are like some of the biggest challenges that people face? Can you go ahead and, I don't know if you want to hit those one at a time, which you want to hit first, but we need something we can use now to have success.
Absolutely. What we came to do here is build massive value for all the listeners, and we want them to leave with a step-by-step plan. And in fact, the biggest challenges I see that most people face is how to get a customer consistently and how to use the power of leverage. I want everybody to write that down, the power of leverage. And that's when you sell one-to-many. See, most people thinking selling one-to-many is more challenging, more difficult. It's actually easier. If you've ever been to an auction and you're seeing how people buy in this frenzy, but that's what I discovered. I did my first seminar. I handed out a bunch of tickets to my ideal customers. They came to a little restaurant, a Denny's restaurant, and I did my presentation and I sold half the room. And I said to myself, how long of sitting down with people one-to-one and how many hours would it have took me when within 90 minutes I converted half the people? And so I was hooked. Seminars were the way. And so we did more and more seminars. So I think some of the biggest challenges people are facing is, well, Dave, how do I get all my ideal customers to one event? Right. And that's one of the biggest things that we teach here at Speaking Empire is how do you identify who is your avatar, your ideal customer, then drive that massive leads and traffic to a live event at a hotel or a restaurant or even in your office, or to an online event which you call a webinar or a Google Hangout. And then when you get them there, then you got to create the perfect message to then grab the attention, excite the imagination, target the problem, offer the solution, and give them an irresistible offer so that they then don't walk, don't run, but dance to the back of the room. And that's the magic of selling one-to-many.
I love it, man. And you talked about the blueprints that you're giving away. So are some of those going to help with that customizing that presentation? Because it sounds good, but I got to now decide what I'm selling, how do I do all that? Because that sounds overwhelming to me.
Absolutely. So for a lot of you probably heard webinars. Webinar is a great technology and platform. I want everybody to write that down. Platform to get customers. And so now we can use the technology of webinars. Imagine sitting at home, at the local coffee shop doing a presentation on a webinar and closing one-to-many. In fact, in an hour from now, I'm actually doing a webinar to my own list, and we'll probably make $50,000 in 90 minutes. Why? Because I built my list. Now I'm going to drive traffic to my webinar. I'm going to create an irresistible presentation and then convert them. So if any of you want to do webinars, what we want to give you is our special webinar blueprint. This is our automated webinar blueprint, which is absolutely incredible. Imagine this, picture this, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, a salesperson that never calls into sick work, that spins and spins and spins, and then sells. Not just local, all around the world. That's what an automated webinar could do for your business, and we've got the blueprint that we're giving as a very special gift, which I valued over $500, which for a business owner is priceless.
That is priceless, because I mean, you just mentioned Denny's. I mean, I could see somebody, I don't know that I want to do that. Like, because I mean, there are some people, they say that public speaking's number one fear, right? And you just mentioned someone's greatest fear. Oh my God, how, if I had people in a room, now I don't know what to say to them, and how do I get to close them? I mean, that's fine for you, Dave, you know, but the nice thing about the idea of the webinar is it is one that, man, it can run any time, and if you've got a template, that's why, thank you so much for giving this blueprint away. That's not a small gift.
Absolutely. And I also want to give another very empowering blueprint away and gift to everybody to help everybody. You know, when I first started speaking and doing webinars, I didn't know how to write a presentation. How do you write a presentation one-to-many? So I've got the mathematical system, which is my 12 secret steps to writing a presentation. And so we're going to give you our presentation blueprint. This is the exact presentation blueprint that I write all the presentations for all the top speakers in the world. In fact, that's one of the beautiful things is here at my company, we write webinar and presentations for people. I want everybody to understand the speaking business is like the acting business. An actor and a speaker are very similar, and they have a script, and they have a director that directs the movie, and that's what we do.
Nice. Well, you were talking to me about this before, that some of these world-class speakers will come to you because you write so many more presentations than like anybody on the planet. Because they might do 2 or 3 talks or presentations, or maybe 5 or something that they sculpt. How many do you actually write a year? Well, you were giving me a number, I can't remember.
Well, imagine this. For 10 years of my life, twice a day, 5 days a week, I was doing presentations at lunch and at dinner. And I got to test what color shirt to wear, what color tie to wear, what converts the best. How do you get somebody to run to the back of the room? And that's what I passion. Dance to the back of the room. Which is a ninja strategy. And I studied NLP and hypnosis and understand how the brain works and what causes people into a frenzy. And that blueprint will show people exactly how to do that. Now, how do we take that and put it onto a webinar is another strategy, which is an incredible strategy for people to take away. And both of those blueprints are on there. And I've got another super ninja strategy, which I want to teach people what they call covert selling.
Okay.
See, today, selling systems don't work like they used to. And the customer's smarter, and nobody wants to be sold. So I want everybody to write that down. Nobody wants to be sold, and nobody likes a pushy salesman. So what I've discovered for myself, using hypnosis and NLP, is a covert way to sell. This is what I call non-resistant selling. So I'm going to write that down, non-resistance. And so one of the things that I teach is what I've learned in hypnosis and language patterns is how to talk to somebody, but not talk to them, talk to their subconscious mind.
I love it. Are you going to give us any of those strategies now, or are you going to go ahead and do that is that another part of the giveaway?
Well, as part of the giveaway, let me give you some of my 5 secret ninja subconscious strategies.
Okay.
Number 1 is what you got to understand, there's 2 parts of the brain. We've got the conscious and we've got the subconscious. I want everybody to write this down and listen very closely. All buying decisions are based on emotion, backed by logic. So what part of the mind is the emotional mind? Is it the conscious or is it the subconscious?
Right.
It's a subconscious.
It's a subconscious. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take another break, and you're going to give these 5 secrets. Is that cool? Can we get those?
Absolutely, man.
And this
Absolutely.
is something people can use right away. You're watching Greatness Quest. Trevor Crane and David Van Hoos. We'll see you in just a second. All right, you're back watching Greatness Quest. This is Trevor Crane. I almost said I'm Dave Van Hoos. With Dave Van Hoos, and you're about to talk to us about the 5 secrets of subconscious selling. Is that right?
Absolutely, subconscious selling. And you can use this, one-to-many on a webinar, or even when you're talking to somebody one-to-one, or even talking to your kids. It's all about persuasion and influence.
So one of the things that people understand in the sales process, you've got to get people
To start saying yes. In fact, here's what I know to be true, is that the subconscious mind is 90% of its thoughts are negative. So the subconscious mind is saying no, 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 no. And so what we want to start doing is reframing their brain and get it to start saying yes. And this is a great strategy which is called trial closes. I'm going to write that down, trial closes. And so what these are is patterns that you can say to trigger the mind to say yes. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Are you getting this?
I am.
Would this work for you?
I think it's going to.
So exactly. So you want to be dripping throughout your presentation what they call trial closes. If you do this one strategy, it will absolutely, I promise you, double your conversion from stage or a webinar.
So trial closes. In fact, what I want to give away to everybody is my secret
Top 10 trial closes, which are absolutely incredible, and we're going to give that to everybody. That's like an amazing opportunity.
Brother, that's awesome. So again, if you're listening to this instead of watching this, because some people will be listening, I've got on their headset, you can get that as a free gift when you go to greatnessquest.com/10x, or go to speakingempire.com/10x. You can check out David, and you can go ahead and get these freebie blueprint pieces that are just actually gold. The only challenge I have with giving away for free, brother, is that sometimes people value stuff what they pay for it. So,
well, we can charge them too. So in their mind, just know it's priceless. It took me 10 years, millions of dollars to figure this information out. And what I've discovered in life, it's in giving that you receive. And I'm a strong believer of giving first. To anybody, for your clients, whoever.
I appreciate it, man, and I know everybody's going to love it. So make sure you grab that right away, and then talk to me. That was one trial closes, one of the subconscious. What are the other 5 secrets here?
So number 2, I want everybody to write this down, is what they call anchoring. Now, anchoring is a very powerful technique that a lot of NLP practitioners we use, or hypnotists we use. Now, most people don't know what an anchor is.
In fact, let me quickly tell you a definition of an anchor is. It's pretty easy.
Trevor, when you were in high school as a senior, was there a song you listened to over and over again?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Like if I listened to, I was, high school was...
What was it?
It was like heavy metal, like Motley Crue, like what was it, like White Snake and long-haired stuff. So yeah, all that 80s music.
I grew up there too. So
when you think about that now, what does it do to your body?
how do you feel? If you think about that song in your mind's eye, what does it do?
Well, I remember that time, and at the time I was playing sports. I felt like I was on top of the world. I had a hot girlfriend. Everything was, they're memories that are happy memories. That makes me smile, and now I'm thinking of when I had long hair.
Yes. And so this created a state for you, an emotional state.
What kind of emotional state are you in right now?
Pretty damn good. Real good, yeah.
Okay, so remember what I talked about. Everybody write this down again. All buying decisions are based on emotion, backed by logic. People don't buy logic. I see so many people are trying to sell their products and the features. No, we got to elicit that emotion. And that's what an anchor can do. Now, by just suggesting you thinking about that song, it brought an emotional state in you. Now, better yet, we can create anchors during our talk. So we could anchor down our book. So we bring somebody in an emotional state, I could anchor them down
To my Sell More, the Forbidden Secrets of Mass Persuasion book.
And people are going to want this badly because this will actually double their close. So as a speaker or presenting, we want to make sure we anchor down our product.
Does that make sense?
It does.
You want me to give you another super ninja strategy?
I do, and I want to talk about that book. You're actually a bestseller of 3 books. One is that book right there called Sell More. You've got Winning Now. Was there a third book, or was it The Forbidden Secrets of Mass Persuasion?
The third book is New Rules of the Game. So I've got 3 best-selling books, all on selling one-to-many and persuasion and influencing and how to use hypnotic commands in your presentation.
Right, in a really cool way that just gets people into a positive state versus like some kind of manipulative, salesy crap. And I think that I agree with you. There's a huge gap, I think, in most people thinking that they can't sell one-to-many. So I love the fact that you're making it easy and you're broken it down into a system. So let's hear 3, 4, 5. I'm ready.
Okay.
So anchoring. So let me give you a super ninja strategy. So I was doing my presentation over and over again. And I got to test what color shirt to wear, which I'll share with people in a moment, what color closes the best. And I hired, after I was doing this twice a day, 5 days a week, my company bottlenecked. So then I asked the question, how do I duplicate myself and have a team of speakers go all the way across the country selling for me? And my ego kicked in. It's like, you can't duplicate Dave Van Hoos. Well, you can, because I want everybody to understand this. Speaking is a learned skill set. Tony Robbins wasn't born with a microphone in his mouth. It's a simple, easy system that you can learn. Anybody can learn.
So I hired my 20 speakers. So Trevor, here's a funny story. So I'm teaching these guys how to do my presentation.
And I did this one part in my presentation. I want you to watch, and everybody to watch very closely and listen and see if they pick up why this worked. I knew it worked in my presentation. I didn't know why. So let's watch very closely. I used to say, my friends, I'm so excited about real estate. And I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a better time to get involved in foreclosures. The stars align perfectly to do this business.
And the guys are like, dude,
we're not doing the star thing. It's gay. And I'm like, you got to do the star thing. It works.
So it's funny how I look back. I was doing these hypnotic commands,
and I knew they worked. I didn't know the name. So watch very closely what happened. I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a better time to get involved in foreclosures. The stars align perfectly to do this business. What was I pointing during my talk? The back table. Where do you want them to run at the end of your presentations? The back table. So
there's a path that people can take. So you need to anchor down the back table or where the buying is going to happen.
So it's a very important thing. So usually there's a couple anchors that I'll put, anchoring down the product, anchoring down the back table. And then another cool thing is then you can anchor down yourself with an expert.
Make sense?
It does. Now, what did you call step number 3 then? I'm a caveman, so I'm looking for this, because we had anchoring as number 2, so what do we call this?
Anchoring the sales spot.
The sales spot, like where they buy. And it sounds like you also said you were anchoring the path, so that's how they get there. Anchoring yourself with credibility. I saw you pointing and gesturing at yourself so that you're the... Am I right? Are these some of the that unconscious communication that you're using to go ahead and anchor yourself as the expert?
Yeah. You want me to share another super Jedi? Let me start Jedi, because
So last year I do a lot of speaking around the world, and
I was invited to speak at the World Speaking Summit in Europe, London, and I was there on stage. And one of the things, sometimes it happens when you're speaking in front of a group, sometimes the group, they weren't paying attention, they were tired, and they just weren't engaged. So I did this spot, so let me see. So I'm on stage and I'm going over how do you write a webinar presentation. I'm teaching people about credibility. And And I said, you've got to show your credibility when you're presenting. Because when an authority person speaks, people listen, right? And I said, in fact, if I was speaking on stage talking about real estate, or Donald Trump was speaking on stage talking about real estate, who would you guys listen to more, right? They said, Donald Trump. I said, what kind of person is he? He says, confident, powerful. And I said, you want to make sure that you step into that space. And as soon as I did that, boom, everybody had their eyes on me. They were now hanging on to every word. So what I did is I was here. Who was there?
Donald Trump.
What happens when I step into that space? Who did I become?
So all that credibility, certainty, all that, everything that they have now associated about success that you put in this empty spot, you just assumed. And are you serious? Because I know this in theory. I've heard this before. I've done some NLP work and whatnot. But did you really see a transformation in your audience?
Absolutely.
It's no different than me saying, go back in its point in time right now in a moment and think of that song in high school. It's an anchor. And I want everybody to understand this. 95% of communication is subconscious. In fact, that's what makes TV so powerful as a medium to market, is because the television
Is basically putting you in a hypnotic trance. And then all the suggestions from the TV are
going deep into the subconscious.
Hey, we were talking, I know you got one more secret to give, but I also know I've got a plan to interview your business partner, because we're talking about the secret strategies here of subconscious communication, but how am I going to get an audience? And, your business, can you tell us about your business partner? Because that's the next part of this is this is great to learn to close, but how do you generate those leads? Tell me about Dustin.
Well, when I first started my business, it's funny how the universe works and how you can connect the dots backwards. So I'm at my office when I first started my business, and it was at the Starbucks at the time when I first started, right? And I get this call. So I'm like, hey, this is Dave Ben, who's Foreclosures Daily, can help you. And this young kid goes, hi, my name is Dustin. I want to come work for you for free.
I'm like, for free? All right, meet me at my office at the Starbucks.
So this young kid comes, he's 21 years old, and he read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he said, go work for somebody very successful for free. Right. And so he did. And so back then, he was the only guy that knew how to use the computer, so he became our marketing guy. And from there, we started doing seminars. And he started going to every marketing seminar, reading every marketing book. Now, after 10 years of being my assistant, employee, now business partner and friend, he helps businesses find out who their ideal client is, target marketing, direct response marketing. See, most people don't have a clue. In the industry that we came from, in the info marketing business, it's like we've got to sell a bag of air and get people to run back, and we got to do it with what we call direct response. That means we give in $1, we get $2 back. So Dustin is one of the most brilliant guys on the planet that understands traffic, direct response marketing, online marketing, offline marketing, video sales letters, webinars, all these different things. So no matter what business or you're in, Dustin can share with you some super covert ninja strategies of how to drive massive quality buyer leads into your business.
Thank you, brother. And what I love about this is I know we're going to do several interviews, and I'm going to see you live here soon as well at one of your mastermind events with a lot of the clients that you have on those books there behind you. So we're going to go deep on how people can sell one to many. So this isn't our only interaction, just so people don't think, oh my God, I only got 5 minutes left on this video before, to get all the goods. This is about how to do that, from generating the client to actually implementing these things in people's life. Or am I missing something? How would you say it? Any differently? Or?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? It's already been 25 minutes and time just flew by like that.
I know. I feel like we just started.
If people are liking this, well, we saved the best for last. In fact, on the next video, I'm going to be breaking down even more selling one to many. So you've got to make sure whatever you got to do, be on that. I call this mission critical for your business. Mission critical. The next training, I'm going to be diving down even deeper, and then my partner is going to be telling you most businesses don't have a clue. If you think you know anything about marketing, wait till you see Dustin. He'll blow you away. He is absolutely the most incredible marketer I know in this country. And he'll show some amazing ninja strategies.
In fact, what I find, Trevor, is most businesses are 10, even 20 years behind us.
With automation, with marketing, with sales, with influence. It's just the industry I came from.
Yeah. Well, Dustin was hot. I met him for the first time today when we had a chat, so that I look forward to that interview. Brother, we've got one more super ninja secret strategy, right, to close out our 5.
Well, people are going to really like this one and want this one badly. And this is what I call non-resistant selling. What most people will do when they're telling people, they'll tell people what to do. So we've got the conscious and the subconscious. In the conscious, we have what they call the gatekeeper. So if you tell people to get up and go to the back of the room, what are they going to say?
No, I can tell by your hand right now. I mean, but that I don't like to be told, man. Don't tell me what to do.
And a lot of these sales trainers will tell you to tell people what to do. But
Nobody wants to be told what to do. So there's a way to do covertly. So this is what I call non-resistance. Anytime that I feel there's resistance, there's a break in rapport and affinity between you. So non-resistance communication is a technology I created called the NEEP patterns. The Neuro Emotional Empowering Patterns. And you can use statements like this. Before you automatically go to the back of the room, you know it's the best thing you've done. You know, you could consider why you want this. And so, you know, one could argue. And so what you're doing is you're communicating what they call non-resistance, which is a more powerful way to communicate, so that way you do not break rapport and break the affinity. As soon as they know you're going to sell, you have broken rapport with the person.
Right, and I'll tell you what, I just wrote that down. I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to take the time, but that's gold right there. Because I challenge people all the time when I'm working with them to help create a more compelling close to shift their language so they don't put people off. And that was gold. Like before you automatically, that's presupposing they're going to do. That's great stuff. And then to even bring up their, it sounded like to bring up their objections as well. One could argue, not you, but one could. So they agree, but now that gives you a chance to overcome the objection, right?
Yep. So yeah, that's a way of called non-communication. So in therapy work, what we're trying to do, help people overcome their fears and phobias. And we've got to use these very advanced language patterning to change and reframe people's minds. Well, as a therapist, I'm selling people on having a better life, overcoming their fears and phobias. It's the same sales process if you're selling a product or service, and it absolutely works incredible.
I was gonna say, does it work? Does this work for any business, or is there something like, you know, let's say I got a yoga studio, or what? I mean, is there somebody that this does not work for? Because someone might be watching saying, "This isn't for me." You know, like he's not talking to me. This isn't I can't do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the subconscious mind trying to stop you from stepping into your greatness. That's all it is. But truthfully, yeah, I hear people all the time, well, Dave, I'm in this industry. I'm in the foo-foo industry. I'm in the, I sell high-end tickets, or I sell franchises. As you can see behind me, I've worked in over 350 different industries. And it works in every industry because human beings are human beings. And when you understand neuroscience, and you understand kinesiology, and you understand hypnosis and NLP,
they're all wired the same. And this stuff is so powerful that it is absolutely almost lethal. In fact, I've got a bunch of super ninja, if they like this one, on the
next training, we're going to even go more deep and get more powerful patterns.
I was going to ask, do we have time to cover any of the, let's say, what can we do to model strategies of internet marketers? Like some of the best internet marketers out there in my business. Now, are we going to talk about that now, or are we going to talk about that on our next video?
Well, let's just kind of start with it. Modeling is a very successful strategy. You know, I'm a strong believer. When you model what other successful people do,
you will become successful. And so
I've taken a lot of different industries and pulling it apart, taking what I've liked and working with all these different speakers and business people around the world, and I've modeled what they've done. And so most people don't know this. Most businesses don't know how to market, and they don't know how to sell. In the internet marketing business, the info business that we're in, we're 5, 10, even 20 years ahead of everybody. And you can take these principles and these strategies. You can use driving Facebook traffic ads into a video sales letter, into an automated webinar. You can drive your folks into a seminar, clues 1 to many. These are very powerful strategies. You can have automation to follow up programs.
This technology stuff used for all businesses. And anybody that
Uses this in the industry, I can guarantee you will 10x your business, guaranteed within 30 days. And we're going to go over this and at the next training because we don't have time because it's so amazing.
I got it, brother. So again, you can get, if you just go to greatnessquest.com/10x, you'll get these 3 blueprints that are gold. Imagine you just spent 10 grand for these things so that you treat them that seriously and go through the process. You can also get them at speakingempire.com/10x. Any last words of wisdom for people who are watching right now? Like, what should they go do next other than automatically show up at our next video training where you give more of mission-critical marketing automation strategies?
Well, for me, it's this. I personally challenge you to step into your greatness, to play the game you're meant to play. And the biggest challenge I see is that most people leave their ideas and their concepts and their vision in them when they die. And I want to challenge everybody to play big and play to win, or don't play at all.
I love it, brother. Hey, thank you so much for doing today's show. I look forward to talking to you next. I know I'm going to shoot you live at some point, and I'm going to talk to your partner, so tune in next week. I'm sure that I'm going to be interviewing either you again or Dustin or whatever, but check out the trailer, and we'll see you step into your greatness, play big, or go home, or whatever you said. Thanks, Dave.
awesome, bro.
Okay, take care.
Okay, man.
Greatness Quest is also available for download on iTunes and Stitcher. See the link in the description below.